Hey, journal. So it's December 17th, almost December 18th. And I haven't made a journal entry in a long time. But I just had a realization. A truth teller's journey is always difficult. I'm someone who enjoys telling the truth. Um, I just, I do. And it's partially because I don't want to be caught in a lie ever and deal with the embarrassment of it. But as a person who speaks the truth often, um, a person who does not feel comfortable lying, I mean, like little lies that, I don't know, I can't give an example right now. But, anyways, as a person who's used to living in that light, um, the type of people that I come across, the type of situations that I deal with, um, I'm always, people always question my sincerity. And it shows up in different ways in my life. It shows up in different ways from people where they question it or they don't feel comfortable around it because it's too honest, which again causes them to question it. But, you know, and honestly, it might be that the shadier the person, like, the more it triggers them. So maybe that's what it is. Maybe an honest person's journey is a journey of triggering the foolishness in people. Maybe that's what it is. And so, because it essentially sets them off some way, then an unhealed person will essentially kind of reflect that or deflect that, of course, but like reflect that onto someone else, because it's obviously not them that's triggering themselves, it's you, which would be me. So maybe that's the problem, right? So anyways, just kind of thinking about it, it's like there was this girl that I knew, and we were friends, not friends, because she had friends that didn't want her to hang out with me. So our friendship was, it only existed in the shadows. And that was completely fine because at that time in my life, I was in a relationship that was, um, you know, emotionally and physically and mentally, um, not safe. And the girl was funny, very, very, very funny. So I didn't really care about the quality of the friendship. I enjoyed the escape. And so being able to be around her, be around her, it, it was good for what it was. But once I got into a different situation where I was out of that relationship, um, the girl went through something on her own. And so, you know, she, I let her stay the night at my house a few times. But the thing is, okay, let me slow down. I told her that she could stay at my house. She had a baby and got herself in a situation. Well, not got herself in a situation, just ended up whatever. And so I said that she could stay there. Her child was less than a year old. And so the girl, I started to realize once my head got clear, once I was out of that situation, I started to realize that the girl was kind of not watching me, like sitting back and I would catch her staring at me, but watching me like she was questioning whether I was genuinely as happy as I am, knowing everything that I was going through. It was almost like she was questioning like the sincerity of who I was who I was, as if I was portraying it to be. And I don't know if that sounds weird or if I'm explaining it correctly and it's relatable to somebody, but I told her she could stay there. As time went on and she's at my house and she's getting to see who I am, I think that it started to bother her demons a little bit because, you know, because I genuinely am this person despite what has happened to me, despite what I'm going through, despite what I've been through. That relationship that I was in that was not safe was 8 years. Um, and so, you know, after seeing me in one position for so many years and then seeing me start to regain myself, start to become myself again, um, it wasn't much different really than it wasn't much different than what she knew um, spiritually. It was, as if she expected me to be this broken mirror behind closed doors, and it's like, no, I'm 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 kind of a what you see is what you get kind of person, but anyway, so as time went on, um, she actually ended up only essentially staying with me for about I would even stretch maybe 3 weeks, but she actually only stayed the night, probably a total of 5 days, 5 nights. Her lifestyle it was always faster than mine. Again, I was in a relationship, so I didn't get to run the streets and do anything like that. She ran the streets, which is how she had that young child, not because but again, an honest person. I offered her to stay with me because she was a young mother. Her mentality was not that of a young mother because she never sat down inside of this home with her child. So I'll put that there. But the more she saw me and how real I was, and she kept doing this stumped look, and I'm not gonna say how real, like, oh, I keep it, oh, no, not all that, just how not an illusion I am. Okay, the more she saw that, then our friendship went from, not only was she not staying the night, over there, she was also like I said, clearly becoming distant-esque because again, we led different lives. Granted, I was single. That wasn't jump in the street single. I was single. You need to find yourself single. And so she became more distant, but then when she would, like, if I, when I would hang out or whatever, or see, just if I was able to hang out, or if she actually came to the house or whatever, like, she started, like, she had different people, which again, she ran the streets, so she always was in different people's faces. But the people that she was bringing around, like this one particular girl she started bringing around, at first it was like, okay, I was around when she met her, so it was cool, like, you just met the girl, so I'm aware that y'all's friendship is brand new. And then it went from that to, I'm getting in the car and now I'm somehow an outcast. And not an outcast like, I don't know how you can take that. I'll just explain what I mean. But she was I was becoming an outcast. Like, I'm getting in the car with you, and now the conversations that y'all are having sideways, I'm I or what is the word? Not sideways, like passive aggressively, but not passive aggressive. I can't think of the word, but y'all are having side conversations about me. So I get in the car and now it's her this or her that, or you completely have a conversation, um, or you end a conversation, and then now the girl that I barely know, because you also barely know her, but I'm also not hanging out with y'all as much. But again, she was only at my house for 2 weeks. She met the girl in that 2 week frame. And in that 2 week frame, now y'all have little conversations about me, you know. So when I say that, like, she barely knew the girl, I barely knew the girl. So I get in the car, and then there's like some kind of passive aggressive crap talking, like shit talk, you know? And it's like, okay, this is not my situation. I'm starting to see how this is going. But my thing is, as a person who extended their hand to you, and I barely have a hand, like, you know, to hand to you, like, my arm has just gotten out of a harmful relationship. You know what I mean? My ego has just got out of a harmful relationship. I am not somebody who can extend much of anything, but what I extended, or what I had, I extended to you. And the only reason you're coming and picking me up and hanging out with this girl and all of that is because we essentially have some type of friendship at this point, because I'm no longer in that relationship. So now, you know, we have some semblance. I offered you to stay, you know, we have something, and whatever. So anyways, how did my honesty, or her lack of trust in my honesty, show up in that situation? She ended up trying to use it against, not against me. Let me see how to word that. Honestly, she essentially felt either intimidated by it. She wasn't able to rise to the occasion. Maybe she felt like it wasn't something she could portray, or maybe it was too fake for her to be that honest and open. Or maybe it was boring. She actually was a very good storyteller. She stays in people's business. That's what she does, which makes it for a good conversation, which again was why I was with her, around her. But she wasn't feeling it. There's Once you realize there's nothing here for you to talk about, I don't give you nothing. Oh, she moved around. Then I mean, hell, you must have found something smart to say. Because, you know, and then next thing I know, y'all, her cousin was coming out of nowhere, finding me on Facebook, and don't even know my Facebook name, you know. And so she found me on Facebook. So I'm like, I know that girl had to give it to her, because you don't know my name on Facebook at all. How did you get here? Poof, be gone. And while you at it, take your man with you. Girl, send a screenshot of the shit that he's doing in my inbox. Like, what the fuck is going on? But either way, I digress. All I'm saying is, um, honesty, that's what ended up getting me in that situation. Another situation, being honest, or what, I'll say too honest. My mama told me, actually, my mother told me when I got pregnant with my child, that I was too nice. That I was too nice. That's what she said, for the person, based on the person who I got pregnant by. She was like, you're too nice. But she told me that I was too honest as well. When I'm not gonna say when in relationships, but I was telling my mother things that I've said to some people that I had dated, and she told me that I was too honest, and not in some kind of funny, like I'm talking noise to these guys kind of way, but obviously like too honest in a way like they don't have to know every single thing, you know. And so in relationships it shows up like these men don't trust it. They don't trust it because they've been hurt too. um I mean, I guess that's multiple. It's almost like a sense, it feels good too good to be true, but hell, I feel like I'm too good to be true. Like I feel like somebody could look at that and see that I've done a lot of healing. um so I don't really feel ashamed to say that, but um, it ended up getting it ended up getting me tested in stupid ways. It ended up gaining a lack of conversation, um, like this discomfort in wanting to be open and honest because I feeling as though I wouldn't accept them. But it's like, honestly, I've been through and seen a lot of things. I ain't gonna say it. I mean, I feel like I've seen a lot of stuff, but I feel like I've seen a lot of stuff compared to the stuff I saw before. And so I'm just obviously still mind blown at the new stuff that I saw. So there may be more shit to see out there. But I've been through a lot. I could probably relate to a whole lot of stories other than like being proposed to and, you know, all of the stories that come with the horrific, you know, stories that come with that. Like, I've never been engaged 7 times. I've never been engaged and then caught my man cheating with one of the bridesmaids at the reception. You know, like I've never experienced those kind of wild things. But on the other end, the single side, I think I've experienced just about a lot of everything. I've never caught any. I've never actually caught somebody that I was dating sleeping with anybody else. I've never seen that. But you don't have to actually see that to relate to being cheated on or anything else that tests the trust and stability foundation that you thought you built in a situation. And it really sucks for somebody who is honest to slowly think that you're building with somebody because y'all are taking things slow and you're going about a pace that y'all communicated, because again you're honest, so it's not like you're not communicating. Which let me not I'm not gonna do all that because I am working on being more open. I'm honest, but there's emotions that some of them get swept under the rug while other ones get expressed. So I'm learning the balance. But besides that, okay, like, I'm honest um, in these relationships about I don't know. I forgot what I was saying. All right, well, I guess I'm done blabbing for now. Um, is this a safe space?